A rule like 65 games need to be played in order to win an MVP or Defensive Player of the Year All-NBA. Guys didn't face those rules before.
I wonder why. Riddle me this, Draymond. Why do you think they would have to implement this now and not previously? Is it because of A, they feel like fucking with you, or B, those guys didn't need to be told to do their job? Yo, what's going on, family? It's your boy Bolo, and I'm coming to you with another video for educational purposes only. Today, we're going to be addressing a clip by Draymond Green, aka Ray Lewis. And he's talking about this new 65-game rule that the Players Association had to implement because of these big overpaid babies want to just do whatever they want and not see any kind of consequences. And really, this whole monologue that he's going to go on is a microcosm of society as a whole, where I don't care what you say, and I'm not saying life is perfect in the West. I'm not. So do not mince my words. But what I'm saying is that this is undoubtedly the easiest time it's ever been to be a human is to be in the Western society. Not saying it's 100% fair, but we've got massively overweight poor people. You have people in poverty that have enough fat to sustain themselves for 6 months without a meal. Facts. Okay, you can feed these people just water for a half a year and they would still be alive because they are so fat. Okay, that's how easy life is. And you have the opportunity to change it. When in previous civilizations, wherever you're at, that's where you're gonna die, buddy. For the exception of very few people. Okay? But let's get into the clip, and I'm gonna break down how this moron, why he would even say this stuff.
Joel Embiid left the game tonight with an injury. Number one, prayers up. Hope it's not bad.
Absolutely.
We know one of the stars and bright spots in this league,
Absolutely.
MVP, well on his way to a back-to-back MVP, which leads us to our next conversation.
Okay.
Which is Joel playing tonight felt very much so because of the 65-game limit that we actually talked about once before on the pod. And in talking about that on the pod, I don't remember what I said verbatim.
You said some bullshit,
but I
most
remember
likely.
the gist of what I said, which was something along the lines of, everybody's happy with this 65-game rule until you got a bum on all-NBA team, until you got somebody that's not totally deserving to be the MVP of the league.
All right, first off, this is a stupid-ass sentiment. I'll explain why. Can anyone in the history of the NBA tell me when it was a unanimous round of applause for all the decisions that was made? For all the award winners? Can you tell me where no one made an argument about a snub and this person should have won? Let's be honest. Last year, people were saying Nikola should have won, and I was in that camp. I think he should have won over Joel. But Joel won. But at the end of the day, there was a dispute. Go back 2 years. Same thing. People say this person should have won over this person. Very few times is unanimous. And even if everyone mostly agrees with the MVP, you think they all agree with the all-star selections? No. There's always arguments about who got snubbed. All NBA selections, he should have been first team. He shouldn't have been there. Da, 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 da. This is the fucking thing that always happens, dumbass. I mean, honestly. When you got a bomb on it, you think that's just going to start now? You goddamn goofy ass idiot.
Because someone else didn't qualify before the game, because of this game limit. Now, what I think is actually quite bullshit myself is to incorporate something at this point.
Spit it out.
A rule like 65 games need to be played in order to win an MVP or Defensive Player of the Year All-NBA. Guys didn't face those rules before.
I wonder why. Riddle me this, Draymond. Why do you think they would have to implement this now and not previously? Is it because of A, they feel like fucking with you, or B, those guys didn't need to be told to do their job? You're getting paid obscene amount of money to play a game roughly 35 minutes a night. That's it. And even when you're out there for 35 minutes, you're not running hard the whole time. Defense is barely being played, let's be honest. You wait for someone to chuck a three and hope for a long rebound and run down the court. That's what you do. Okay, so stop acting like 35 minutes of work every other day, and God forbid 2 days in a row, you might have to work for 70 minutes in a 48-hour span. Oh my God. Is that too much? No. Previous generations with a lot less knowledge when it came to body maintenance and nutrition and footwear technology, they somehow were able to stay healthier longer and push through minor injuries more than you. How is that possible? All I'm hearing today is, this is the best the athletes have ever been. They jump higher, they're this, they're that. But you can't play 82 games, bro? Come on, man. If you're hurt, you're hurt. I'm not trying to, I'm not going to, get on you if you're hurt. But a lot of these guys sit out just because, bro. That's crazy.
But those same all NBA teams, those same MVP awards lists, Defensive Player of the Year, those lists are the same. Like, when the guys who win those awards this year pop up on the list that they'll be added to, or once again, it won't say. And by the way, they reached the 65 game limit to make. Well,
I should have done the research on this. So my bad. But how many MVPs only played 50 games? How many? How many played 42 games and got a Defensive Player of the Year or an MVP? A lot of time, people said, they missed too many games, we're not going to put them in. They just happen to put a real number behind it now. But these voters, before they missed too many games, they're like, you know what? He had a great season, but he just didn't play enough. You can look up clips of motherfuckers saying that shit going eons ago. So what are you talking about, Dre? You act like someone could average 40 points over 10 games. They say, all right, that's the MVP. Fucking stupid.
Like that. Like, it's bullshit. Like, that hasn't been a rule. So essentially to make guys
do their job,
live up to a certain standard that wasn't the standard before to make these
teams. It didn't have to
yet
be.
You only go on the same team.
It didn't have to be. I'll put it to you this way. Say you're dating someone, guy or girl. I don't want to make this a gendered thing, but let's just say you're dating a guy or a girl, whatever it is, right? For me, a girl, obviously. And she posts on Instagram regular clothes. She dresses regular, modest, she doesn't have her ass cheeks all out on the internet. Is there a need for me to tell her not to do that? No, because she's not doing it. When you would see like toys, right? It'd be like, don't put this in your mouth, choking hazard. And you would think to yourself, why the fuck would someone want to put this in their mouth? Obviously, they did it because someone did that dumb shit. Someone put it in their mouth, choked, and all kind of crazy stuff. So they're like, all right, people are this stupid. Let's tell them not to do that. Okay? So if you guys were actually playing when you were healthy, no one's going to knock you if you're hurt. But if you were playing when you're healthy, no one would have to even think about this rule, dude.
There's no added bonus, no added incentive for these things. So you end up on the same list as the guys who back in the day played and may not have played 65 games but still made the list. I told you, I once...
But out of those games that they did miss, how many of them were just because, Draymond? Ask yourself that. I mean, Joel literally just missed the game just to miss the game against the Nuggets. He just decided, all right, you know what? I'm sitting out this game. We've seen it.
I once lost a Defensive Player of the Year award to Kawhi Leonard, and I think he played 51 games.
All right, I saw another NBA page or whatever, YouTube, talk about this clip, and that's false. One season he missed, I think he played 64 games. So he would have only missed it by one, which you can make an exception for. And the other one, he didn't play less than 65 games. So he actually is lying in this clip. He's actually lying in this clip.
This year, it isn't going to say, but he played 65 games. That's bullshit. And so, in turn, you get Joel, who comes out there tonight because, he's 3 games away from not qualifying to win MVP, and he forces it.
Or maybe if he didn't sit out for no reason.
Freak played with him and JK diving for the ball, but maybe it's not as bad if the knee isn't already banged up, right? And so now, because, like Joel, if I get it. Like, you want to win MVP. You worked that hard and put the work in that he's put in to get better and continue to play at that level.
Okay.
On a nightly basis. Of course you want to win MVP. So, you force it, you get out there, and you put yourself in harm's way. And then Joel Embiid is hurt now. Now, again, prayers up.
It's the nature of the business, bro. It's the nature of the beast. Kobe played with I think he played with a broken pinky for months, bro. And was putting up buckets. AI, when wasn't he hurt, bro? After the year 2000, that man lived on basically hurt and was putting up buckets. MJ, buckets. Back in the day, from the mid 2000s and before that, people just played. And if they were healthy, they were 100% on the court. All right, that's just a fact. Now, if a dude just is more injury prone, it is what it is, bro. If he doesn't get to win because of that, it is what it is, bro.
Joel, as we hope, is not something too serious. But is that the goal? Is the goal putting people in harm's way?
No.
Just so they can qualify for an award?
No. I think somehow, I don't know how he missed this whole thing, but it's a business. And the money doesn't fall out of the sky, Draymond. There are people that pay, whether nosebleeds or courtside seats, they pay their hard-earned money to come and watch you guys. Maybe not you, you fucking suck right now, Mr. Triple Single. But they come to see the Steph Currys, the Joel Embiids, the Nikola Jokic's, those types. They come out to see those people specifically. They take a night out of their week after working 8 hours, probably more, to come see you. That's where your money's generated, okay?
Because I don't think that was the goal.
So no, it's to provide the service that these people paid for. They're paying to see basketball players, marquee basketball players. And even though they're healthy, these people will pay a price that hasn't been adjusted. It's not like, Steph Curry's not playing tonight, so the ticket will go from $150 down to $60 to make up for the fact that he's not going to be playing. No. They still pay that same full price, and you still get your full contract, even though you're shortchanging the patrons of your business.
All right. This man is actually dealing with an injury.
Then sit out.
So again, because you're dealing with injuries for stretches of the season, you don't qualify? So, I don't know, man. I don't think it's right. I think it's a tough rule to implement because we travel crazy.
You travel in luxury. You travel like only probably 0.5% of the human population gets to travel, bro. You're not riding in no beat up Nissan Altimas to the game. You travel in a way that most people wish they could. Okay, and like I said, you guys have the best of the best. That's all I hear. The best nutrition, the best doctors, the best athletes. You guys are in the best shape ever. I don't want to hear, bro. If you're hurt, sit out. It's okay. You still made $200 million, bro.
Play a bunch of games. The speed of the NBA game today is totally different than it ever was before. All of a sudden, you're seeing a lot more hamstring injuries, calf injuries, soft tissue injuries, all these different things, knees. And you got guys forcing it to get back so they can qualify. Because guess what? These awards are very much so attached to the amount of money that you can make.
That's true, but let's be honest. Unless you just somehow just skyrocketed and just became way better under a crappy contract, the guys that are competing for Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, they're doing very well. Yes, do you get more money? Yes. But is it going to change your life in comparison to the contract that you already have? No. Okay, Joel Embiid's career and his career earnings have made him very comfortable, Draymond. Don't act like if he doesn't win the MVP, all of a sudden his family's gonna be starving. Like, oh my God, how am I gonna figure this out? He's going to be just fine. Okay? I guarantee most of you guys have been fined that kind of money. Okay, throughout your career.
They're very much so attached to that. So it's going to be interesting. You got a lot of NBA owners making huge investments into players, and we're just throwing guys out there banged up just to meet these requirements. See, Tyrese Halliburton came back tonight. Probably forced his way back a little bit earlier not long ago because he's seen that those numbers start to creep up. And guess what he did? Went out for another 4 or 5 games before he came back tonight? So it's going to get really interesting when you got these owners making these owners of these teams making these huge investments into players, and yet you got to throw them in harm's way just because there's a 65-game limit. Like,
it's not a 65-game limit for your contract, bro. This is for an award for extra money. You'll be fine. If you're really hurt, sit out. But let's be honest, for a lot of these guys, especially the stars, the ones that have that kind of pull, a lot of times they sit out just to sit out. Load managing, which the science already shows has no effect. It doesn't decrease the likelihood of injury.
We all know when somebody's egregiously just sitting.
Yeah, and you're okay with that.
When somebody's actually hurt.
And you're okay with it.
So if you don't have a core base of voters that can identify that, then maybe they shouldn't have a vote. Like, if you can't identify that, man, this guy's just been taking games off and not giving, then just simply don't vote for him. Because it is in the hands of the voters, right?
You see how, not aware of the real situation he is? He's talking about the voters, the money that they're going to get on top of their already huge contracts. There's people that pay, sometimes they save up for months to take them and their family out to come see you. And then that's the night that their favorite player from the East Coast, say you're in LA and the New York Knicks or whatever, say you just like Jalen Brunson or whatever. He's only coming to LA once a year to play. And you save up like, oh, Jalen's coming. Can't wait to see him. And he decides to load manage that one game. Does that person get reimbursed for their ticket? No. Do they get like a reimburse, like an adjustment? Oh, you know what? Their marquee player isn't playing, so instead of $120 tickets, they're going to be $60. No, they still pay full price. How come for not 1 second you've thought about the people that are paying your contract, Dre? Not once. You have not mentioned them once. We're 6.5 minutes in. Never thought about them once. Never said, you know what? I kind of get the other side too because people never.
So then just simply don't vote. But to throw guys in harm's way, I don't really bang with it. And now we got one of our premier faces in this league, the MVP of our league, possibly hurt for an extended period of time because he's forcing it.
And when he wasn't forcing it, you're going to tell me what? How healthy has this guy been throughout his career, Dre? Since before this 65-game rule. How healthy was he? Was he just playing 75 games, 80 games every year? No. Was he just not getting hurt? No. He was getting hurt and choking in the playoffs just like every year.
Yeah, of course he should be in the running for MVP. Damn right he should. And so, I think it's whack. I get what people was trying to get at, but you got a lot of people making these rules that don't know how it feel to play it back-to-back, that don't know how it feel to play a third game in 4 nights.
Do you know how it feels to save up for weeks, maybe months, to bring your family out just for that guy to say, I don't feel like it, I ain't in the mood? Do you know how that feels, Draymond? Me.
That don't know how it feel to play 5 and 7. But aside from knowing how it feels to actually compete in that amount of games, because I know people say, "Oh, that's your
exactly,
job."
It is. Exactly.
Number one, you take sick days and don't and then go to work the next day.
Yeah, but they get a very fixed amount. Depending on how many hours you worked, you get this many hours that you get to take off. And then after that, you don't get paid for shit. It's unpaid days off. Unlike you're still going to get that fat check no matter what. So it was a totally different circumstance. And they have to build and accrue that time to take off anyway. They can't just start doing it. Come on. Not only that, health benefits and shit like that. A lot of times you have to work a certain amount of hours. You need to be a full-time worker. If you're part-time, they don't give you shit. How about that?
Hey, so shut up. We don't want to hear it. But
He's fucking, this stupid fucking, this dude's such an idiot. It's infuriating.
Again, when guys are actually hurt, it's a real thing.
Yeah. Then don't play.
There was no debate that Joel Embiid was hurting.
Then he should have sat out. He's doing fine. Let's look at this dude's contract, actually. Joel Embiid, right? Let's look. What's he getting paid? Contract. Let's see. He's getting $213 million, okay? He's getting 52 per season. Do you think, Draymond, that if he doesn't win this award, he's going to be struggling? Really? Come on, man. Because you're talking about the financial part. You're not talking about legacies and all that stuff. You're talking about finances. He needs this because of the money that's tied to it. This nigga's doing just fine, bro. Stop it.
I don't think anybody that's up for debate for anyone. And then you have something like that happen, right? Like, I don't think it's right. I disagree with it, and it'll be interesting to see how far this thing goes.
Well, then tell all of your comrades to play when they're healthy. How about that? Because you just said that the voters should know the difference between when a guy's sitting out for no reason and when he's hurt. How about the guys that are sitting out for no reason don't sit out for no reason? How come that didn't come out your mouth? How come you never said, you know what, guys, maybe we should stop taking time off for no reason? How come you never said that? You never say, you know what, we do have an obligation to the people that pay our contracts. Nope. Don't give a shit about them. You're not even saying, hey, if you're healthy, you should just go out and do your job. You're like, nope, that's fine. You should be able to tell the difference, spot which one doesn't belong. That's what you're saying. This dude's a fucking clown, bro. Not only is he a fucking football player on the court, he's an idiot.
Because all of a sudden, one of our main guys in this league, one of the faces of our league is out, forcing it to try, and it ain't so great now. So we shall see. But as I said before, wishing the best to Joel.
Yeah, I wish the best. I hope he's not hurt, in the long term. But anyway, if you really hurt, bro, sit out. You're going to do just fine as far as contracts and all that stuff. Save yourself for the playoffs if that's what you want. But just understand, if you're going to take out a certain amount of games, you don't get awards. Big fucking deal. Big fucking deal. Guys have always played hurt, made things worse. Sometimes it didn't get worse. Whatever it is, you make decisions and you have consequences to live by. That's it. You know, that's it. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm out. Peace.